Welcome to Enjoying Life, a program of music, chatter, and friends, designed to put a refreshing moment in your day. Now, please welcome your award-winning hosts, Dr. Jerry and Little Jan.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so very, very much. Hey, sweetheart.
Hey.
You know, people wonder why we come out laughing, but there's a reason in this.
That's because we make signs at each other. It's like
See, I'm on one
signs.
side, she's on the other. You know, husbands and wives that love each other, probably everybody, but they have little secrets between them. And this is the truth. I'm not going to tell you how we do it, but like if it's in the church, you know, that's mainly where, and you know, it's a little more somber and sober, and maybe I'm sitting on the platform, and maybe she's on the other side of the platform. We are to come together to sing, or maybe she's in the pew, she's going to come join, or whatever. But I can tell her I love her, and she can tell me back, I love you too.
But
and
don't
the
tell
audience,
them how.
No, I won't tell them how. And the audience have not a clue what's going on.
But I
you know,
think,
they don't see anything.
I think
but
I think husbands and wives do that. I think they have a little secret language between themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Well, you know, we got a great program today. And you know, this first song that we're going to sing has some banjo and stuff in it.
It's going to be really
and
good.
we've got a special dobro player going to be playing for us later.
He loves this kind of music.
He is the head of this kind of music for Southern gospel music.
He certainly is.
He is. He's
Let's
the
don't tell him
man.
who it is yet.
No, I'm going to tell him who it is yet. You'll have to stay tuned to see.
Let's go sing.
Well, let's sing. Let's go sing Roll the Stone Away. You ready?
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
That's what it says.
On the day that Jesus died, on the cross was crucified, they carried his body away. And as the crowd began to leave, their hearts began to grieve. That's when they heard the angels say,
Just wait till they roll the stone away, and there'll be a brighter day.
when you think that hope is gone and you're feeling all alone,
Just wait till they roll the stone away.
When just one day had passed and all their hopes would dash, the disciples had gathered by the sea. When they thought the Lord was dead, that's when old Peter said, here's what the angel said to me.
Just wait till they roll the stone away, and there'll be a brighter day. When you think that hope is gone and you're feeling all alone, just wait till they roll the stone away. You know, Satan is still putting stones in our path. Sometimes it's a sickness we don't understand or the death of a loved one. But let me tell you, friend, God is still in the rolling the stone away business. Listen to this verse. When you're walking down life's road and you fall beneath the load, just remember to always kneel and pray. He has promised to be there, and he always answers prayer, so believe he'll roll the stone away. Oh, just wait till they roll the stone away, and there'll be a brighter day. When you think that hope is gone and you're feeling all alone, just wait till they roll the stone away. Oh, just wait till they roll the stone away, and there'll be a brighter day. When you think that hope is gone and you're feeling all alone, just wait till they roll the stone away. Just wait till they roll the stone away. You don't want to miss the program today. Stay tuned.
Now, I'm telling you, that song, Roll the Stone Away, you wrote that song,
Yep.
but that is a bluegrassy song.
You know, I wrote that song. I was going through, I believe I was going through Cincinnati. And so I was listening to music, and that song came to my mind. Now, I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. I wrote that song driving, writing on the steering wheel with a
my
piece
goodness.
of paper, you know.
I don't know.
I shouldn't say that because, you know, you can't even text and drive. That wasn't very good. But The song turned all right, and I did not have a wreck. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Well, you know what? We got a wonderful guest.
You almost got yourself in a
I
bucket.
did. I almost got too deep there. I sure did.
I'm telling you, we've got a beautiful man here, a beautiful man. He's just a long, long time
Now,
friend.
you mean that talent-wise, and you mean that in all of his expertise. Beautiful, pretty, well, okay, handsome maybe, I don't know. But let's welcome a real good friend of ours that we love a lot, Les Butler. How about it? Les, we're so glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
How long have you been involved in Southern gospel music?
Well, the very first job I had was on WYCA in Hammond, Indiana, which is a Chicago, Illinois market station. And I went on the air there the first weekend in October of 1978. Woo! 39 years on the radio, almost 40.
Almost 40 years on. You went on the, were you playing gospel?
Yeah, Southern gospel.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
In Hammond, Indiana?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I brought something for show and tell. I thought this would be fun.
All right, all right.
Some of the very first music I ever played in my life.
See, I
My
do.
goodness, that's from what, man? My God,
Can the camera get that? Okay.
Butler.
Some of the very first music
where
ever.
did you get these?
This is in my personal collection.
I'm telling you, did you come here just to make an old man feel good?
No, well, yes, but not just for that. I hope I make you feel good. But
Yeah.
this was the kind of music I was playing when I first started in radio in 1978.
That was way. These are way back there.
Oh, yeah.
That's when Wally was playing the organ and Gene Jones on the piano. You know.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. Oh,
yeah, and all that.
Let me tell you, this record right here. This is this with I Am Blessed and I think Guilty was on this.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That
Those
was
were
the
two of the
song.
most
supposed to be
popular
interviewing
songs I've ever played in my 40 years on the air.
Really?
Is that right?
The phones would absolutely melt down off the wall, and they did for years on both of those songs.
Is that right?
awesome.
We
Yep.
were at a church the other day, a wonderful Baptist church, you know, and we were singing. I was to speak. It was a homecoming type thing. And we were singing, and the pastor wasn't sitting very far away. And he said, sing page 172. Well, you know, I didn't know what 172 was. So I just kept singing, you know, going to the next song. Well, between the next song, he'd say, 172. Finally, I said, Pastor, I have no clue what you mean by 172. He said, well, it's your song, I Am Blessed, on page 172 in our hymnal.
Wow, it made a hymnal.
Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah, and so,
Okay.
you know, that you made me smile today. You brought back that memory.
Wildly popular.
Thank you,
Well,
thank you.
tell
You're
us
welcome.
what
Tell
you-
us about,
what
we
you're
want to know
doing,
about
Les.
Les.
Well, I still do radio shows, some TV, and I produce recordings in Nashville, studio musician in Nashville, manage some artists, radio promotion.
But
I
think
wear a
most
bunch of
people
hats.
they wouldn't see behind the scenes to see your activity there, but
Yeah.
they would remember you from Solid Gospel.
Yeah, I was on the Solid Gospel Radio Network for 20 years, and I
This
ran
is the
20
man.
years.
I ran the Singing News magazine for several years during that
Yes,
time.
and they know the singing news, so
Yeah.
that's the high-profile things that I connect you with.
Right, right.
And you know something else I'm going to bring out, because we're going to do that this evening. I never realized that the guy was so talented. You know, I always knew you could talk because you're on the radio. And, of course, your writings, because you head up the bluegrass genre of music and different things. But, you know, until we started working different places where he was, he'd come to a concert, he'd be there, and he'd be there representing Solid Gospel or the magazine.
And he'd be
the
playing, though.
Yeah, he'd be on stage playing a dobro. And I thought, wow. Then the next group, he's up there, he's behind him playing a piano. Then the next blues, he's playing a mandolin. How did you learn all these things?
It goes back to my mom and dad. My dad showed me the G, C, and D on a guitar, and that was it. I mean, and really how I learned how to play the piano, I think, is kind of the coolest story. And this is the truth. You remember the Canaan Record Club? Wendy Bagwell and the Sunlighters. Okay, we had Canaan Record Club. If you joined it, you would get an album like that once a month. Of the special album of the month. So
Yes.
we'd get Wendy Bagwell and the Sunlighters. We'd get the Happy Goodmans. We'd get the Florida Boy. You know, the list goes on.
Right.
And so I was 9, and my parents bought me a piano. And
You
I
were
don't know.
9 years old,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to play a piano. I don't know why they purchased it for me, but they did. And so there was a big old stereo by the piano. You know, the old pieces of furniture,
yes,
this
yes,
big,
yes,
this
yes.
long. And,
Mom and Dad had one of those,
and
yeah.
I would stack 5 Canaan records on the spindle. They would fall down, start playing, and I would play along with it. So I learned all the intros of Darryl Stewart on the piano and
Okay.
Eddie Crook on the piano and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned how to play the
That's how
piano.
you
Canadian
learn.
Record
Just
Club.
teaching yourself?
Yeah, I've never had a single lesson on anything that I do, which explains why it sounds the way it does. But
Well, you know, on
yeah.
the cruise, sometimes you do certain specials on the cruise. You come with us on the cruise, you know, and you'll, the man behind the music, or the what is it called that?
I hosted a couple, Married to the Music.
Married to the Music.
Yeah, we had you and Little Jan on that.
we did.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah, oh, that was
I can't
good.
believe that it's not anymore. You know, it's such a good program.
Yeah, I thought it was great. The folks seem to like it.
I was going to say they
it would
really
draw a
like
crowd
it.
into the auditorium.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you were on the air, of course, you're on the air.
Right.
When you're writing in a magazine, these are out front things.
Sure.
How do you feel now that in that sense, I'm going to get to your new sense of being out there again, but that you step back? Do you ever miss that, or how are your feelings about? I know you chose voluntarily to step back, but did you?
Sure, I miss, probably the thing that I miss most is radio on a daily basis. Because I was on the air every day on the Solid Gospel Radio Network for 2 decades.
That's right.
And that's the bulk of my career, 39 years has been in radio. So I do a syndicated show now, but it's not like doing a daily, every day preparing and doing special things every day on a radio show. So I miss that.
Yes.
And you know what? I found out something else about Les Butler that I didn't know. I was tracing you down to talk with you. This has been probably a year or two ago, you know. I called and you weren't in your office, but I need to talk to you. So that in your schedule, I saw where you were going to be, and you were in West Virginia, I think. And so I called the church, you see, and I said, is Les Butler there? And the lady she said, yes, I'm the secretary of the church. He's speaking here tonight. I said, you mean like a sermon or preach? She said, yeah, he's supposed to preach here tonight. I had no idea until that moment that you were also a minister, or not just musically, but the spoken word.
Well, yes, I am.
And you do that. Now, this is what you do. You do that and produce and manage and all that.
Yeah. And on top of all of that, I've got 3 other preacher friends. Some of whom you know, Mike Holcomb, the bass singer of the Inspirations for 40-some years. He and I have started an all-preachers quartet.
I know that.
So we go and sing quartet music, but then when we go into churches, they'll typically ask one of us to preach, which was our goal to begin with, was to allow the music to get us in, and then be able to allow to preach and to preach the gospel to folks.
Well, the other day, now we just came back from Florida not long ago. We spend our winters down there, and somebody called my home. Well, I tell you who it was. Pastor Catlin called, and he said, I know you're friends of Mike Holcomb and Les Butler, and he said, they're singing over in Winter Haven.
Yeah.
Was that true?
That's true.
He said,
that was about a month
you
ago.
might want to know. I said, well, I'd like to know, but I'm already committed to do something.
Yeah.
But I said, is that right? And that's in your quartet. Who else sings in your quartet?
Tim Owens is singing tenor. He was the tenor that took Archie Watkins' spot when Archie left the Inspirations. And then Lee McNeil, who is a pastor in Virginia, is singing lead, and then myself, and then Mike Holcomb.
Well, is the tenor singer preacher too?
All 4 of us.
All 4?
The name of our group is the Old Time Preachers Quartet.
Really?
All 4 of us are preachers.
Do y'all ever preach all 4? Have you ever seen people, you know what tag preaching is?
Oh, yeah, tag. You know it.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. And yes, I've been around that. And yes, I love that.
I hadn't thought of that in years. That would be awesome. Yeah. I went to hear Mike just not long ago. He was speaking at a Jubilee and did a great job.
Oh, yeah, he's a great preacher.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Great
is.
man, talented man, humble man.
Yes,
I'm blessed to be around the fellows that I'm around.
Well, he
God's
just
really
bragged
using us.
on you guys. He said, Jerry, I enjoyed my years with the Inspiration. He said, but I'm having more fun now doing it than I've ever had in my life.
Happening to you. You're having a good time.
It is. I'm telling you. I don't know what God's got going on, but we're all liking it.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, you know, we're just glad that you're here. Is there anything that you would like to add? What do you do for your spare time? Sound like you don't have any, but what do you do? Do you go fishing? Do you hunt?
I sleep every 3rd day.
Oh.
Whether I need it or not.
Really?
No, I do. The one extracurricular thing that I like to do is I like to fish.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a good fisherman? I mean, can you do it pretty good?
Well,
seem like some
I do
have a
more
knack at it.
fishing than catching.
Oh, I see.
They call it fishing for a reason. They don't call it catching.
Oh, that's right. I never heard that. That's good.
So I do more fishing than catching, but it's just getting away,
Getting away.
some alone time, quiet time, get to talk to the Lord. He gets to talk to me, whether there's fish involved or not.
Yeah.
And it's that's what I like to do when I can peel away, which is not very often.
Does your family join you? Any of your members of your family join you out there?
Yeah, sometimes my wife gets to travel with me. And
She sing, Les?
she does.
And you
She
have
does.
how many kids?
2.
Children?
Got a son and a daughter. My
they
daughter is
sing?
the oldest of the 2. My daughter can really sing. She's very good. And my son is my head engineer for my record company in studio, and he manages it. And he is, this isn't just a dad gloating kind of thing. He's a far better musician than I am.
Oh, really?
As in, he's getting calls from everybody in Nashville, and he's playing on everybody's
What does he
recordings
play?
now. Everything.
Everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell me
He's a
his
Les
name.
Butler Jr.?
Matt. His name is Matt, and my daughter's name is Amber. And Amber works for the Singing News Radio Network and Singing News Magazine.
My goodness.
So I left, and she went in.
My goodness.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's
That's a
awesome.
family affair.
I was going to say, it's a family affair.
Well, can
That's
people
great.
reach you? How would they reach you if they wanted to reach Les Butler?
They can. My website is butlermusicgroup.com.
Say that again. slowly.
Butlermusicgroup.com.
Okay.
My personal email is Les, L-E-S, at butlermusicgroup.com. Or they can call me. Can I give a phone number out?
Well, I don't know if that's wise. Let's
Okay.
just stick to the others,
All
because
right, just
that
like
makes
send up
everybody.
smoke signals. I'll follow the smoke
Yeah,
signals. then.
that's right. That's right. Well, we're so glad you're here today, and I know you're going to be playing the dobro for us.
I'm going to try.
And might join us in a song, who knows? And we're going to sing a couple good old hymns out of the
Love it.
out of the Redback hymnal.
That's what my church uses, redback hymnal.
Is that right?
Every
that's
service.
Great.
Is
That's
that
great.
right?
All
Did
right.
you know my dad was chairman of the committee that put that together?
Yes, and he
I have to throw that in.
did a wonderful job, I might
Well,
add.
he was just sort of heading up the chairmanship of the committee, but the guys that put that together did a marvelous job.
yeah.
Well, we want you to stay with us. We're going to have a wonderful third part of our program. We hate to have to go away for this little minute, but the FCC said it's what we should do. So we say
right
goodbye for a minute, and we'll see you in a minute. Oh, you'll be so glad you stayed tuned for this time. You know, while you were away in that little minute, we were sort of getting this area on this area of the stage, and we're kind of letting you in on a little secret. And Les said to Jan, he said, "Do you know what this is, Jan? Do it now. Let's see if she remembers."
Walk around me, Jesus. Walk around me, Jesus.
All right. No, we're not going to sing that song right now. But that was so good. How do you know all that song? How did you know? Of course, you knew that was Little Jan's song, but how did you know to play it?
Well, for one thing, my mom and dad sang that song probably for 30 years, every 2 or 3 Sunday services.
Is that right?
Oh, it's one of their all-time favorites. And then when I play songs on the radio, especially I was on the air almost 40 years every day.
Yeah.
So I heard all these intros and stuff all the time, every day. So I could play them all on a dozen different instruments.
Well, that's fantastic.
just from memory.
We're going to sing one right out of the hymn book.
Okay.
And we'll sing a little bit, and then we're going to just let you play some dobro. And how about that?
Okay.
All right. Here's a song, and I like what it said. Just a closer walk with thee. Start it off, Angel. Just a closer walk.
Just a closer walk with thee. Well, Jesus is my plea.
And daily walking close to thee. Oh, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Here's Les Butler on the dobro.
I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong.
And I'll be satisfied as long, oh, as I walk, dear Lord, close to thee. Just a closer walk for you, angel.
Now just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus is my plea.
And daily walking close to thee. Oh, let it be. Dear Lord, let it be. Great job, Les Butler. I'll tell you what.
You sound exactly the way you sounded when I was playing Wendy songs back in the 70s.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. See, that's
you
the reason
made
I
her
love.
day, huh?
That's the reason I love Les Butler.
And you know
That's
what?
the truth.
Sweet.
I shouldn't tell this because but we were at a church and it was in Indiana.
Okay.
And we're standing in the aisle talking, and this is bragging on Jan, but she's my wife. I can do that.
Go ahead,
So
yeah.
we're standing in the aisle. Jan's standing here, and the preacher's standing right here by me. And his wife walked up right there, and his wife was standing there. And the preacher said, "Honey, tell Jan what you said." Oh no, she said, "I can't do that. I can't do that." And she said, "Well, yeah." I said, "She won't mind. Just it might make her smile." And she said, "I told him she looks exactly like she did 40 years ago, and she's so pretty I could smack her." And we all still laughed, you know. But, you know, she hasn't changed that much. You know, people say that all the time, that she looks like she had years. And, you know, she's my sweetheart, so I can brag on her. Let's do another church song.
Let's do it.
You ready to sing one?
Let's sing.
Here's one we enjoy singing. I like it, what it talks about. You probably know it. If you want to sing along, sing it with us. Love lifted me. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained by sin, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry. From the waters he lifted me. Now safe, safe am I. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. Now listen to these words. Souls in danger, look above. Jesus completely saves, and he will lift you by his love, oh, out of the angry waves. For he's the master of the sea, and billows his will obey. He, your Savior, he wants to be saved today. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. And when nothing else could help, love lifted me. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. a joy it is to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me today. This has been fun.
Isn't
Yeah,
it been
this
fun?
is fun.
I hope you've enjoyed this half as much as we have. And you know, sweetheart, Les, he's been such a leader in our industry and such a leader, and that he's here. He made his special effort to come be with us.
He sure
Isn't that
did.
good? Isn't that good? Well, Les, we give you a standing invitation to come be with us again. And I know you sing and you play other instruments as well.
We want to hear
but
some of the other
things. We'll have
Maybe
you
the
play
next time
a
we'll
piano
come
and
around
do
the
some others.
piano.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, I think it'd be
Well,
wonderful.
we want to thank you for being with us. It's time to go. Thank you for joining us today. Invite a friend to join us next week. Put us on your calendar and on your
Pray for us.
television so we can be a part of your life and you can be a part of ours. Until we see you, remember our slogan: take Christ as your partner and enjoy life.
life.
God bless you.